Alexandra Palace. First time in nearly 10 years we've been at that tremendous venue. Of course, this Saturday, live on DAZN all across the world, Danny Jacobs, the two-division world champion, will fight John Ryder in an official eliminator for the WBA Super Middleweight Championship of the World on a tremendous, tremendous fight card. Of course, we want to welcome all of the media here today and all these great fighters up at the press conference. And of course, Daniel Jacobs, who is a major, major name to bring over for British boxing. We've worked with Danny for a long, long time now. And it's not often that you see someone with his profile, with his achievements, with his ability, grace these shores. So a tremendous night for British boxing and a massive fight between these two. I think John Ryder summed it up so well where he said the loser is done. He's done because these guys are in pursuit of world championships. This is an official eliminator, an absolute must-win for both guys on Saturday night. And so many must-win fights for everybody on this card. We're going to start talking to some of the members of the undercard, and we'll start with Cyrus Patterson. Cyrus, welcome. Absolute heartbreak for you at the end of last year. You had to experience your first occasion, and there's many people up here that have experienced it before, of a fight falling through at very short notice with your opponent testing positive. I know it was a rough time for you, but ready to kickstart a big 2022.
Yeah, I was absolutely devastated. I didn't really expect to experience that so early on in my career, but I stayed on over Christmas, and it was a bitter pill to swallow, like after the investment in my camp. So I'm just excited and everything for a reason. I think when I look at the positives, it means I can start this year and build up the momentum that I'm going to follow through and have a really busy year.
Losing that sort of fight at last minute, I think sometimes teaches a fighter that you can never take anything for granted in your career, and you've got to take the opportunities that present itself. You, an elite amateur, of course, with GB, seeing all these guys now turn pro as well from the Tokyo Olympics, looking to move swiftly in the pro ranks in 2022.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I won a really busy year. Last year I could have had 3 fights in 6 months. So this year I want to push for maybe 6, and I want a title. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think we're going to look for an international title at the end of the year. I am wanting to move fast. I think I am ready for the 8th round after this fight, and pushing to 10s and get the titles.
Oh, incredible talent. Looking forward to seeing you in action on Saturday night. Charlo De Freitas, welcome. I would also like to just extend our disappointment that we lost Jordan Reynolds from this card. Jordan, a great young fighter, sold a huge amount of tickets for this card as well, had a bicep injury that he couldn't overcome. But in steps Charlo De Freitas, big opportunity for you, young man, undefeated fighter from London as well, and looking forward to being part of a big platform and a big card on Saturday.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I'm a 2-0 pro. I want to make it 3-0. I'm looking to have a busy year this year. I'm looking to push for 8 fights, but we're going to get Saturday out of the way.
And built for this stage. I know a lot of those shows and the victories you've had so far on slightly smaller shows, but this is where you want to be, and looking forward to mixing at that level at the weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking to stay. I'm looking to perform and to show out and bring the best me.
Look forward to seeing you in action on Saturday. Austin Ammo Williams. Ammo is back. Ammo is here, bringing that energy to London. I saw you out there. You were telling me what your plan is for this fight on Saturday. I think the viewers are going to enjoy it. But welcome, Ammo, and delighted to be boxing back in London again.
Yes, I'm very excited to be here in London again. First off, I want to give a major shout out to Danny Jacobs. Coming from the United States, you know, guys like him are people that we look up to as the young fighters in the next generation. And to be able to fight on his undercard, to be blessed with this opportunity because of the hard work he put in, that's major for me. You know, I want to be where he's already been. So I'm so happy to be here and bring that energy to London, just like Jacobs is doing.
Sure. We know Austin, due to fight Jez Smith on this card, he pulled out with injury as well. But we know you've had your troubles over the last 12 months, but, you know, back in the game, back flowing now, and some of the names that you've been mentioning moving forward, even that you wanted to accept for this fight, you're ready to move fast in the division. I know you want those big nights, big checks, big title fights in 2022.
Yeah, I definitely do. I've been working. I made a coach change that was very important for my career. I'm doing everything I got to do on my side to be ready for those opportunities when they come. But I'm going to take it one fight at a time. And, you know, Jez Smith, I was really looking forward to that. He's better than his record shows. I watched him. I was excited for a firefight with him. You know, I wish him a speedy recovery. But this guy that I got, Maciel, he's also a warrior, better than his record. And I'm just ready to show that even though he's okay, he's good, I'm on a different level, and I'm ready for those bigger fights.
Well, I know the British fight fans are going to love seeing you in action, Ammo, on Saturday night. Hopi Price, welcome back again, was due to fight at the end of last year, and we know you've got a big title fight planned in Leeds on March 26th, but obviously business to come through firstly on Saturday night. Good, tough, strong opponent for you, as we can't really call you, although you're still a young man, not as young as you were when you started, and looking to move really quickly this year.
Yeah, you know, I'm happy to be back out, you know, on this show at the Ali Pali. Even though it's only a 6th round, I'm looking to get some good rounds under my belts and put on a good performance, and then I can push on to that title fight, you know, back home in Leeds, and all of them's going to be big performances this year, and I just can't wait to show how good I really am this year. I think this year, 2022, is really when people start taking note of me as one of the best prospects this country has.
Do you feel you need those rounds right now? And I know you have the confidence to go into the 10 and 12 rounders now, but I'm sure Dave would love you to also get some more rounds in before you take those challenges.
Yeah, I think that was one of the reasons of us doing the 10 rounds last time in Leeds, just to get the rounds on my belt. Like you say, you can't buy experience, but if the stoppage comes, then I'm not going to let them go the distance. I'm going to try and take them out. So if I can get the rounds on my belt, it's all good and well, but if I can take them out, believe me, I will be taking them out.
Well, look forward to seeing it again, guys. Another incredible young talent in Hopi Price. So many great talents beneath us as well down there. But also this fight, we talk about women's boxing right now. We're fresh off a media tour for Taylor against Serrano, already moving to double-digit thousands of ticket sales for Madison Square Garden, April 30th. Katie Taylor against Amanda Serrano for the Undisputed World Championship. And again, women's boxing continues to thrive with a great fight on Saturday. Ellie Scotney, who is 3-0, already steps up against former world champion Jorgelini Guani, who we've had on these shores before, a tremendous fighter. Jorgelini, I'll start with you. You look in tremendous shape. Last time you accepted a fight here at very, very short notice. You struggled with the weight, you weren't 100%, but it looks like you're 100% ready for this challenge on Saturday.
Hola, bienvenido, Jorgelina. La última vez que estuviste aquí, tuviste una pelea a muy poca antelación. Fue muy difícil para ti el peso, para te veo muy buena forma, 100% y listo para esta pelea.
Bueno, primeramente, hola a todos, gracias por la oportunidad. Sí, en cuanto a la pelea anterior, pedir primeramente disculpas por lo sucedido, ¿no? Pero como dijo ahí Eddie, fue una pelea con poco tiempo de anticipación, no estaba pasando por un buen momento, pero bueno. Acá estamos, sí, estoy la verdad que en el modo profesional ahora, y bueno, además de lo que pasó en esa pelea de quedarme con el sabor amargo de no haber podido dar el peso, a los 5 días me enteré que me quitaron mi título del mundo, mi campeonato, y bueno, así que me quedé ahí con un sabor bastante amargo porque no lo pude defender. Y bueno, acá estoy por eso agradeciendo la oportunidad de volver a pelear por un cinturón, por un título y poder volver a recuperar lo que me quitaron de una manera un poco injusta, ¿no? Porque por haber aceptado esa pelea después no pude defender mi título.
You couldn't have wrote that on one page, by the way.
Two and a half.
2 pages.
So first and foremost, thanks very much for the opportunity. I have to say sorry the last time, but as Eddie says, I accepted this opportunity at this fight, at very short notice, only 5 days from the fight. So I'm really happy that Eddie's given me this opportunity, because obviously when I went away last time, I had a bitter flavour in my mouth, and I'm now almost in professional mode. And last time when I fought, I lost my opportunity to go and defend my title. So I thought it was a little bit of an injustice. So I'm here now to kind of delete what happened and put those injustices to bed.
Ellie Scotney, tremendous amateur, very limited experience in the pro games. Is experience going to be important for you? And as we've seen in your pro career throughout, non-stop action, you're ready to bring the action and the pace on Saturday night and test Ellie Scotney?
Sí, obviamente el Scotty no tiene mucha experiencia en el ámbito profesional, sí, como amateur sí, y sabemos que tú tienes más experiencia y siempre vienes con mucha acción. Eso es lo que vas a intentar hacer para enseñar que no tiene tanta experiencia, enséñale esa fase de acción.
Sinceramente, yo siempre que voy a subirme arriba al ring voy a la guerra. Así que, bueno, es a lo que estoy dispuesta, ¿no? Vine por ese título y si es la voluntad de Dios me lo voy a llevar porque así me manejo. La otra vuelta con Rachel, lo mío fue sobrevivir a los 10 asaltos por la poca anticipación de la pelea y por mi estado, ¿no? Pero bueno, sobreviví los 10 asaltos y acá no, acá vengo a la guerra, como acabo de decir.
So whenever I step into a ring, it's all-out war, and I'll be ready for this, particularly given that there's a title online. So God willing, I'll come away with that title. Last time, when I fought Rachel Ball, it was about survival. I was trying to survive those 10 rounds because I took the fight at short notice. But this time, as I said, I'm coming for war.
Thank you, Jorgelini. Ellie, these are the kind of fights I've wanted for you for a long time. When you turned pro, everyone knew about your ability. Everyone felt that you were almost ready to challenge for world titles after 1 or 2 fights. Probably would have liked a fight or 2 more, but again, you've had fights fall through, as many have in this environment at the moment. But a real fight for you on Saturday night, and I guess that really excites you. Ali Pally.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to say as much as her, to be fair. That was some going, but this is a fight, that I've really been able to get my teeth in, and they're fights that, I'm going to ask questions of myself, and I feel like I'm really ready to deliver the answers. So yeah, thank you for it.
Expecting a tough fight from Ghani. I know you would have watched with Shane as well. Former world champion, fought a lot of top fighters, moves up, all action as well. Should gel tremendously with your styles.
Yeah, without a doubt, I've watched a lot of her fights at Superfly because I feel like that was when she was at her best. And obviously she's been given the same notice as me for this fight. So yeah, I'm prepared for war too.
And finally, been a great link up with Shane McGuigan. You look very happy down that gym as well. Even talks about you potentially making bantamweight as well, which I knew when I first met you that was never even on the discussion agenda. But it's been a fantastic camp and a great gym there for you to work in.
Yeah, you'll probably say Superfly soon, but it's a great place for me to be, and I'm learning outside of boxing. They've got a great team there, the boys, the girls, and yeah, I'm buzzing to be part of that mix.
Look forward to a great fight. WBA Intercontinental Championship, Super Bantamweight Division, Scotney against Guani. Great fight on the broadcast on Saturday on DAZN. We move to the top table, and I'll tell you, this Saturday the atmosphere is going to be really special at Ali Pally. If you haven't been there before, it's an incredible building. Of course, home to our World Championship darts as well. That's in the smaller room. We're in the great hall. We'll have around 7,000 there, and the atmosphere is going to be brilliant. And one of the reasons the atmosphere is going to be so good, of course, is because Johnny Fisher, who's sold thousands and thousands of tickets out of his old man's front room in Romford, will fill up that place with an atmosphere like you haven't seen. 6 rounds in the heavyweight division, 6 rounds. I mean, normally these guys selling 2,000 tickets out of their hand are in World Championship unification fights. This is a 6-round fight, but also a very good heavyweight fight and a big step up for Johnny Fisher. We'll go to his opponent, Gabriel Nguema. Welcome, Gabriel. We have a translator here as well. I don't know if you know what you're in for on Saturday night, but you're about to experience an atmosphere you may never have seen before. This young man has huge support. You're ready for a great fight on Saturday.
Sí, bienvenido en primer lugar. No sé si es lo que te espera el sábado. Este chico que vas a enfrentar tiene unos seguidores impresionantes. Vas a vivir un ambiente que quizás nunca lo has vivido. Supongo que vienes listo para la pelea.
Muy buenas tardes, lo primero. Gracias por la oportunidad de estar aquí. Muy contento de poderme estar en un evento grande como los que hacéis ante un gran rival que mueve muchos seguidores, como bien dices, y deseando de que llegue el día para hacer un gran papel. Y por fin, hace unos años tuvimos la oportunidad de haber venido aquí a otro evento tuyo, pero tuvimos una lesión de la ceja en la última semana y no podemos venir, así que con muchísimas ganas de que llegue el sábado de hacer una gran pelea. Vamos a ir los dos a ganar y eso es lo que la gente va a querer ver y va a ser una gran pelea.
Yeah, so first and foremost, thanks very much for the opportunity. It's great to be part of these, big events, and particularly facing an opponent who has such a large following. So I'm looking forward to playing a big role in this fight. I was actually on a card of yours previously, but I wasn't able to make it. So I'm hoping to make up for lost time and obviously put on a good show for this fight.
And you boxed a lot of good heavyweights. You've taken them the distance, 8 rounds, 10 rounds. Looking to use that experience against a guy who really is just starting out in his professional career.
Obviamente has tenido mucha experiencia, pero con peleas de 8 o 10 asaltos y estás enfrentando a una persona que tiene menos experiencia. Supongo que vas a utilizar esa falta de experiencia que tiene él como ventaja.
yo voy a salir a ganar y ya está.
I'm going to go out to win, and that's all.
Good. We look forward to that. Johnny Fisher. Wow. I mean, I don't know if your old man's here today, is he?
No, he's not. He's
No,
still running around doing tickets at the minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is just the most incredible story. I mean, Danny, Keith, you guys, this guy has sold over 2,000 tickets from his front room for this fight, for a 6-round fight. You know, this doesn't exist in boxing. But you've got a fight to take care of on Saturday night. And I know that the job that your dad's done has been incredible, jokes aside, because it does take, you haven't been involved. He runs that whole side for you. And if you were involved, I'd be really worried about this on Saturday night. But totally focused on the job and a really tough fight for you on Saturday. I think a lot of people should be talking about that as well. This is not just a guy who's got, you know, in yourself, who has great ability, sells tickets, and we're looking for some easy touches. This is a real test.
Yeah, exactly that, Eddie, and I'm very grateful for the help of my dad, my mum. They've been fantastic for me. But as you said, no matter how many people go into that arena in the Ali Pali on Saturday night, when I get into that ring, it's just me and Gabriel and Guema, and it's up to me to do a job. And as you said, he's a very experienced opponent, been in with some top people. And me and Mark Tibbs, Jimmy Tibbs, Sonny Cannon have been working on a game plan, and I've got to implement that. So the fans are going to be there, so grateful for all their support. But at the end of the day, it's me and another man in the boxing ring, and I've got to beat him.
Talk about your improvements under Mark and Jimmy Tibbs. I remember when you came to Matchroom, you were so raw. You're still raw, but you're moving a lot quicker than I think was first anticipated in your professional career. Very limited amateur experience, but you had speed, you had strength, you had power, you had a chin. But really, Mark and Jimmy done a great job to start moulding you, and tremendous heavyweight sparring as well.
Yeah, I've been in the ring with some great guys and learning all the time. But as you said, when I made my pro debut this time last year on February 20th, I couldn't have dreamed of being in the position I'm in now. And I think that's testament to the fact I've just been taking it one fight at a time. I don't think too far ahead. And the only challenge that concerns me at the minute is on Saturday night, getting the win. And I want to do it in good fashion. And we've been working, I want to show a bit of control. But I know if I need to, and I need to go get down and dirty, that's my bread and butter, so I'm ready to do that as well.
And finally, I remember last time, 0-2 was incredible. You had about 1,000 there this time. We're going to double it on Saturday, turn it up. The atmosphere is going to be incredible. I remember last time I said, you know, your legs looked just a little bit stiff in that first round because you'd never experienced anything like that before. Going to soak it up a little bit more this time. I'd like to see you on the stage a little bit more, to have more of the song up there. Last time I felt like you just wanted to get to the ring.
Yeah, well, actually, I really enjoyed the ring walk. I thought I'd be nervous in the ring walk. I actually enjoyed it. I thought not many boxers get to experience this in their whole career, so why not soak it all in? Albeit when I got in the ring, we're going to feel a bit of nerves, but that's natural and that makes me perform better. But it's up to me now, Saturday night, we're going to get the job done. I could have done 4,000 tickets easily for this fight. If you gave me 4,000 tickets at the start, I could have easily done 4,000. But we've got about 2,500 in there and they're all going to be chanting for the Romford ball, so I'm going to be ready to go. Look
forward to it. Johnny Fisher in a really good heavyweight fight on Saturday, and wait till you hear the atmosphere for that ring walk. I'll tell you what, this is a fight, I don't really call it a sleeper fight because anyone who knows boxing knows how good this fight is. Felix Cash against Magomed Madiev. Madiev, number 3 with the WBA, unbeaten, very, very good, strong, tough middleweight. Felix Cash, in my opinion, the best middleweight in the country right now, but been out of the ring for a long time. He jumped straight back in. I want to give credit to Charlie Sims and Tony Sims for taking a fight like this, because not many of you know about Madiev, but everybody in boxing knows how good he is. You don't need this guy. You don't need to take risks against this guy who no one really knows. Normally coming back in Felix's position, you need a bigger name who might be on the way out or an easier fight. He comes straight back in a fight that's going to put him in a tremendous position in the world rankings to go and hopefully challenge for the world title himself in 2022. Magomed, I'll start with you. I know you have a translator here as well. This is a massive opportunity for your career, a very dangerous fight for Felix Cash, and a lot of people are saying this is going to be a tremendous fight on Saturday night.
Магомед, для вас вопрос. Это огромная возможность для открытия вашей карьеры, и Феликс Кэш является очень сильным боксером, и все с нетерпением ждут вот этого боя в субботу.
Всем огромное спасибо за предоставленный бой телеканалу Дазан, Эдди Фирну, Фрэнку Смиту, команде Matchroom. Я приехал сюда за поясом. полностью готов и настроен очень серьезно на серьезный бой.
I would like to thank very much all the organizers, Daz and Eddie, Hearn, and everyone involved. This is a great opportunity for me. I came here to receive a belt, and I'm going to put up a great fight.
I saw yesterday in a quote that you said you're gonna win on Saturday night and you're gonna school Felix Cash every single round. Is that what you really believe? This is a young man that a lot of people are talking about. You think you win this fight convincingly on Saturday night?
Я услышал вчера цитату, где вы сказали, что вы выиграете этот бой, и вы будете как бы учить Феликса Кэша на протяжении каждого раунда в течение всего этого боя. Вы действительно считаете, что как бы вы можете выиграть вот этот бой таким образом?
Я действительно так считаю. У меня большая любительская карьера. Научу боксировать, да, так сказать.
I truly believe this. I've got an extensive amateur career, and yes, I will be teaching in the ring.
We'll look forward to seeing you on Saturday night. Felix says he's going to school you every single round. I tell you, this is a brilliant fight. The belief that Tony Sims has in you to take this fight, but some of the other opponents that were mentioned as well, you're ready to get cracking and make an explosive start to 2022.
Yeah, I had a bit of time off, and it's been 10 months, so it's time to get the ball moving and get myself in a position for a world title this year. Not looking past him. Listen, he's a decent opponent and he was a good amateur. But listen, he's in with a different level of fire. And he's talking about schooling, and the only thing he's going to be taken back to school. I'm going to put a performance on Saturday night.
Last time out against Denzel Bentley, just a fantastic performance. You went over the other side, headlined over there and just destroyed Denzel Bentley in a couple of rounds. It was a major statement. Obviously now want to move up. You're moving up a level against Madiev, but these are the kind of challenges you want. This is where you believe we'll see the best Felix Cash.
Yeah, I want to step up my levels. I don't know if he is a level above, but we'll have to wait and see on Saturday night. I'm ready for these big fights now. You got, the Eubanks juniors, you got, the big fights. But obviously, once it get past him first, but there's some big fights out there this year for me. Get myself in the right positions and get myself in a position for a world title.
Obviously, I know you all focus is on Saturday nights against Madiev, but I believe, and you firmly believe as well, number one middleweight in Britain right now.
Definitely, that's what I believe. I believe in number one middleweight in Britain. And I believe by the end of the year, everyone else will believe it too.
Well, thanks, guys. Tremendous fight. Felix Cash against Madiev. WBC International Middleweight Championship, and we move on to the main event. A brilliant fight. Probably one that was a little bit left field when it was announced, but one that made perfect sense for me. On one side, you had John Ryder, a guy who pushed Callum Smith all the way. Some people believed he should have been crowned world champion in Liverpool. Tony Sims put pressure on landing a big opportunity for John Ryder. We talked about the Morrell fight. We've talked about a fight with Dimitri Bivol. But when the opportunity came out to fight this gentleman on my right, a true American great in Daniel Jacobs, a two-division world champion, a real ambassador for American boxing, for world boxing, incredible story. This was the fight that made perfect sense. An official eliminator for the WBA Super Middleweight World Championship, a fight that both guys must win. For John Ryder, it is the big roll of the dice to go on and challenge for a world title. For Daniel Jacobs, a trip to the UK which says, I'm here to make a statement to fight John Ryder in his backyard. And we'll start with the two representatives of these guys. Charlie Sims, firstly. I know your dad, Tony Sims, obviously working hard in the gym with the other boys today, but this is the fight that the kind of fight that you guys put the pressure on for, and a massive opportunity for John Ryder at the weekend.
Yeah, credit to Danny for coming over. Obviously, John's coming off the back of that big Smith fight. He was unfortunate not to get a decision that night, but as we all know, super middleweight division's now kind of controlled by Canelo, and without getting a world title shot, we wanted to fight the next best fighter in the division, and Danny Jacobs for us is that guy.
Obviously a proud night for you and your dad as well. You're all very close to John Ryder, almost like family. Going to be a great atmosphere in there. It's a really big night for all of you, and a must-win fight.
Must win. John wants to go on and win world titles, and Danny Jacobs is the man in the way. So John knows that he's got to put a career best performance in to win, and that's what he's planning to do.
Keith Connolly, my good friend from the States, one of the finest managers in the sport, came over a couple of months ago with Chris Algieri. Didn't work out, but it was a big opportunity for him. With Danny Jacobs, again, a lot of these American fighters look forward to the opportunity to fight in the UK. You experienced a little bit of atmosphere that night. It's going to be turned right up, but I get the feeling that you two are really excited by this opportunity of coming in to the backyard and a different kind of challenge that Danny's never had in his career so far.
Yeah, we when you brought up this fight to us and said it would be big in England, we weren't hesitant at all. We were excited, right, Danny? Absolutely. We jumped at the opportunity, and we love the fans here. That's one of the reasons we came over. Danny and I have been talking for about 4 or 5 years about coming over here to fight because of the fans. So we love the country, we love the fans, and we're excited for Saturday night.
I'll ask Danny this question as well later on, but I've seen a different kind of Danny Jacobs. We haven't spoke much in camp, but just looking at him, looking at his work back in the old school gym with Scooter, do you feel there's part of him, maybe after the Rosado fight, it's like, I want to prove to people that I'm still, you know, the real thing at 168 pounds. And was that part of the decision to take this fight and particularly this trip over here?
Definitely. We're here to prove a point. He had a tremendous camp. I mean, this is definitely the best camp he's had probably in the last 3 or 4 years. A lot of credit is to Danny, his attitude, but I also want to give credit to Andre Rogier, head trainer, did a tremendous job this camp. Anthony Irons, his assistant trainer, another tremendous job. Obviously, Scooter, he's the best conditioning coach in the world. Scooter worked with Danny tirelessly every single day, and Danny's in tremendous shape. I mean, I'm expecting a huge performance on Saturday, and I think that puts him right back in the mix.
Absolutely, and yeah, 2 great trainers here, Andre Rozier as well, somewhere over there, yeah, Andre, and Tony Sims as well, and of course the legendary Scooter. Where would these guys be without Scooter? Johnny Ryder, again, came into the office with Tony, with Charlie, sat down and said that I need my opportunity, I need a big fight. Doesn't get much bigger than this, a massive fight that's going to be watched all around the world, huge US audience tuning in as well. This is absolute must-win for you at Ali Pali on Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fight I've been craving for a long time. I know your ears have probably been on fire when the phone's been ringing and Tony's been on the case, but listen, you've delivered, and what a massive name in the UK and on my doorstep in Ali Pali. It doesn't get much bigger than this for me.
I saw an interview that you gave. Some fighters don't like to talk about this, but you said the loser is done on Saturday night. That's the pressure that you're putting on yourself to win this fight. I know you want to go on and challenge for a world title. You are a slight underdog in this fight, but that is the pressure. You're putting your whole career into this fight on Saturday night, and there's no other thing you need than victory at the weekend.
No, I mean, at 33, I'm not ready to retire. I want to kick on. I want to have a few more years in this sport and a few more years of big fights and world title fights and getting what I deserve out of this sport. I've been working tirelessly in the gym with the best strength conditioner in the world, Dan Lawrence, Tony Sims and Charlie, and been lucky enough, obviously, to have the likes of Peter Sims and Kevin Mitchell in the gym, just picking their brains, getting their knowledge. It is, like you say, it's a real family affair.
I know when you boxed Callum Smith, it was, you know, many people felt it could have gone either way, but you've been waiting for this opportunity for a big fight and almost feel a little bit of redemption in this fight, and that you've got this opportunity after that Callum Smith fight and you want to grab it with both hands.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it feels like a long time coming. COVID messed things up for everyone massively. So it's about putting things right now. It's been a slow 2 years, but get back 2022, a good start to the year and really kick on.
Daniel Jacobs, welcome. When we started working together, I never thought I'd see you in London at Alexandra Palace, but I'm really, really pleased that you're here. You know, on behalf of all the British fight fans, to bring a name like yourself here is a tremendous honour, and I think this is the challenge that you needed in your career. You know, I mean, you've achieved so much. 2-time world champion, of course, huge unification fight with Canelo Alvarez in Las Vegas, Gennady Golovkin fight that many thought you won that night. But this is a different kind of challenge, and I guess at this stage in your career you want to win another world title, but was this the kind of challenge that you just thought, you know what, I want to go to London for a big fight, and that excited you?
Well, absolutely. This was an opportunity for me once I got a list of options of opponents to choose from, and to come to England was one of them. I jumped right on it. I remember as an amateur, I came over here at 17, 18 years old, had such an incredible experience. I fought in Liverpool, I fought in London, and those memories live with me up until this day. And I always wanted to create more memories for myself as a professional. And so when I got the opportunity, I jumped right on it because I know that the energy and the crowd, the people, the fans, just the atmosphere is going to be one to remember. So I'm looking forward to Saturday night. May not have everyone, in attendance going for me, but it's not nothing that I'm not used to. I've been in hostile territory before, but good or bad energy, it all works for me and it all motivates me. As long as there are people cheering, enjoying both us guys put our lives on the line, then I know I'm doing my job. So I appreciate you.
There will be a great atmosphere. British fight fans, very knowledgeable. They respect you as well at the same time. Did you struggle last time out with that lack of energy? I know you weren't over the moon with your performance against Gabe Rosado, but it was such a strange environment that people were boxing in as well, wasn't it? You were coming off the back of Canelo Alvarez, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in Phoenix, which was crazy, into an empty arena, and it was flat. One thing it definitely won't be on Saturday night is flat.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm looking forward to an amazing atmosphere. To go from fighting Julio Cesar Chavez in Phoenix with a sold-out crowd, from fans screaming, cheering, and throwing, to an empty arena, where I can hear a pin drop. It's kind of an awkward situation. But ultimately, I know it's up to me to overcome, and it wasn't the best performance, but I look forward to overriding that last performance with this one out. John Ryder is a motivated fighter. He understands the risk, the task that's at hand, and I'm looking forward to doing my job as well. I'm back with my team. I just want to take my hats off to all my team members for all the things that they do. Andre, Scoot, all you guys. I love you guys. Mike, Baz, Anthony back at home. This has been a tremendous camp, and I'm back in my happy space, and I look forward to showing the world exactly what I'm made of.
And finally, John puts the pressure on himself to say the loser is done. I guess that's because you guys...
He can speak for himself on that one. This is not done over here. I'm a declarated fighter. One bad performance doesn't define my career. So this whole notion of, my career is done if I don't win this fight. I get that. The importance of this fight, which is to put us back into title contention. But my career is far from over. I have a lot more that I want to continue and to accomplish. I want to be able to have that Hall of Fame talk, as me and my trainer always talked about since we first laid our pair of gloves in our first professional fight. And so for me, this is more motivation to know that people think this way, and so cruel and harsh to fighters with one bad loss. And that's more motivation to me to go inside that ring and to put it all on the line, because I understand the importance of this fight and to put me back into the position which I want to create history.
Well, tremendous fight. Two great fighters, two great men. Daniel Jacobs against John Ryder, official eliminator for the WBA Super Middleweight Championship of the World. Great card. Felix Cash against Madiev, as we said. Incredible atmosphere for Johnny Fisher against Ungima. Brilliant female fight. Ellie Scotney against Guanin. Of course, Austin Amo Williams, Hopi Price, Cyrus Patterson, and Shiloh De Freitas as well. Thanks for coming. Of course, the weigh-in tomorrow will be open to all at Box Park. This Saturday night, Alexandra Palace. Do not miss it, either in the arena or, of course, live on DAZN all around the world. We're going to break now for head-to-heads, and, of course, all the guys and girls up here available to the media here today. Thank you for coming. We look forward to a tremendous show on Saturday night.